Chapter 4, Chapter 6, Section 4, Worksheet Presentation. This is a picture of the Siege of Boston. And Boston, a lot of the fighting's going to take place in this area early on before the American Revolution starts. We're going to talk about Bunker Hill and Breeds Hill. We're going to talk about Ethan Allen bringing the cannons down to Dorchester Heights over here. Then we'll mention Washington's army trapping the British in Boston, and then they'll eventually just leave by ship. So some events leading up to the Battle of Bunker Hill. First of all, the Siege of Boston. After the fighting at Lexington and Concord, British troops retreated to the safety in Boston. Over 15,000 militiamen from all over New England surrounded the town. Americans had them trapped, and then eventually the British are going to leave Boston. Fort Ticonderoga is important because they sent Ethan Allen up there to attack the fort and to get some artillery. The colonists had no artillery at the start of the American Revolution. They dragged those cannons all the way back to Boston and placed them on Dorchester Heights overlooking Boston. Again, Ethan Allen led this with the Green Mountain Boys. The Second Continental Congress is also going on, and on the same day as the attack, they started to meet in Philadelphia. And basically, this is going to be our government during the war. Some VIPs there: John Adams, Sam Adams, George Washington, Ben Franklin, and Patrick Henry. The Continental Army will be formed at the Second Continental Congress. They are going to be led by George Washington. He's going to be chosen as the commanding general. So the Battle of Bunker Hill takes place because the colonists had fortifications on top of the hill, and the British bombarded it and they attacked it. And it was actually a victory for the British, but it was a moral victory for the colonists because they were able to stand toe-to-toe with the best army in the world. They basically had to retreat because they ran out of gunpowder. But they did have heavy casualties on the Redcoats. 1,000 Redcoats were killed or wounded. Only 400 militia were killed, and the reason was because they were on top of the hill and they had the advantage shooting down at the Redcoats as they charged up the hill. So what forced British to leave Boston? Well, after the Battle of Bunker Hill and after the cannons were placed on top of Dorchester Heights, General Washington's army had the British troops trapped and threatened to bombard them with cannon fire. Because of that threat, the British decide to basically jump in their boats and they're going to leave. And actually, they're going to go to New York. And there's that picture we started with. Question: what was the purpose and the outcome of the Olive Branch Petition? Well, the Olive Branch Petition was created at the Second Continental Congress with the intention of trying to make things restore harmony between the British and the colonies. They were one last-ditch effort to stay away from open rebellion or war. Not all members agreed with this, but they all did sign it, and the Olive Branch Petition was sent to the king. And when he received it, he didn't respond to it the way they thought that he would respond. He basically rejected the petition. He sent more troops. He sent over mercenaries. There are people that are hired. Basically, they're soldiers for hire. They were called Hessians because they were from a city in Germany called Hesch, and they got the name Hessians. They also blockaded all American ships, which was very easy for them to do because they have the largest navy in the world. And the king believed once the rebels have felt a smart blow, they will submit, he declared. Common Sense is also going to be published at this time. It was popular because it appealed to the common man and woman and to those who wanted to govern themselves. And basically it started to highlight all the things the king was doing wrong and how they could do this better if they did it on their own. They sold 100,000 copies, kind of a bestseller for its time, and Americans were beginning to understand that it was a time to fight for independence. And we're going to start getting close to the start of the American Revolution, which basically starts with the Declaration of Independence. Now, the Declaration of Independence is going to be the start of open rebellion and where the colonists actually declare their intent to rebel. And the Declaration says that government does not, if the government does not protect the rights of the people may abolish it and form a new one. That's basically what they told the king. You didn't protect our rights, therefore we should be able to abolish it our government or ties with you and create our own one. The ideas that are found in this document, like all men are endowed with natural and inalienable rights. If the government disregards these rights, it loses its right to govern. People can form a new government that protects their rights. And that every person has the right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. People can abolish government if it violates these rights. Why did it take the colonists so long to declare independence? Well, you understand, the colonial leaders wanted to resolve this peacefully because they were going to fight with the largest and the best army in the world, and they wanted to unite the colonies. The first part was some people wanted to resolve this peacefully. The second one is some of them were still loyal British subjects, but another reason was they wanted to unite the colonies first before they went to war, so they wanted to get prepared.